I was a stay-at-home mom. My background is education, and we had 4 children very close together. So at that point, I was raising teenagers, but I was also very involved in community life. I loved working with volunteers and being part of our church community, being part of our regular community. I was very interested in seniors projects, and I went to a ministerial meeting because I was very interested in the spiritual life, particularly of a lot of the seniors, that it didn't seem to be happening all that much. And our minister was supposed to go, but I went that day. And Glenn Watts, who was a chaplain at Valleyview Hospital, at the end said that their volunteer coordinator had resigned and that they were looking for a new one. And would I consider becoming, at least looking into it and coming down and meeting Moyra Jones? And I said, well, I will consider it, but I have a very full plate and I'm really not interested in going back to work full time. But I am very interested in mental health, and if I can promote spirituality within the seniors and looking at them as a whole, then I would think about it. Well, Glenn and I had been working along with some other people in the community on getting a songbook for seniors together. And so he said, well, why don't you take that up and you drop them off at Moyra's office? Well, I went to the hospital and she wasn't there. So 2 or 3 nights later, I got a phone call from Moyra, and she said, from all the reports I hear of you, she said, I think that I really would like to have you as part of my team. She said, you're the only one that I've had to phone twice to come for an interview. So I went for an interview. And her visions and her goals were so much like my own. And I had no medical background because, as I say, my background was in education, and anytime I would learn something new, whether it was with the school or with the community or the church, as soon as I would come home from that course, immediately it would be, how can we put it together to make it sense for the children or for the adults or whatever. And it wasn't long before they had to have a volunteer coordinator immediately, so I was taken on as intern and then became hired.